yourself before start asking the questions. Only a minute, please. That's on YouTube connection. Okay. Let me put the questions before we will split. I think that's better. Guys, there are some people in the first time here on immersion or not? Gabriele, Heider, Maria Luisa, that I don't.
That's not my first time in TALKNTALK. It's my first time with you.
Me too.
No, okay, no problem.
It's not my first time.
Gabriele? What's Gabriele? It's not the first time, Belle? No?
No, it's not my first time.
Okay, so I will split the rooms, okay? Minute. It's strange. Let me see. Guys. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I did. I don't know that I did. Sorry. Now, okay. Are you invited? Okay, guys. Oh, let's start, okay? First of all, Belle, do you think English is a difficult language to learn?
I think so, a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today it's easy to talk English or to learn it, but it's hard when we need to have a connection, yeah, with other language. It's not just about English, but it's about to understand the other language, yeah, because in the first moment we have just contact with the grammar, yeah, and it's hard because we don't. In the past, I didn't can see the purpose of the language, yeah. So today it's it's easy because we have a little contact, yeah, with the language, and we are able to practice. So, but in the first moment, I think it's hard because we don't understood very well the purpose, yeah, to learn the other language, like culture or yeah, the other persons from the other countries. So I think that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And for you, Ayla?
So for me, I don't think English is a difficult language to learn. It's at least it's easier than Portuguese language. But I think it's difficult because there are a lot of different accents. So I think it's hard sometimes, at least for me, I need difficulty to understand sometimes. And I think it's other difficulty when you learn only grammar and don't practice. I think when you want to learn another language, there is no way to learn if you know practice. It's very important to practice every single day, at least a little, but it's important to keep it going practice. So I think it's maybe difficult because in the beginning, people feel very embarrassed because they don't want to make a mistake, and it's difficult, but it's necessary. And when you understand this, I think it's easier to develop more your learning in another language. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for you, Andrea?
Yes, I agree with the Ayla and Belle. I don't think the English it's so hard to learn. As Ayla said, it's better than learn Portuguese. But for me, the difficult is thinking about the language, because when I want to speak, I think in Portuguese and I try to translate to English, and the grammar doesn't match. I don't know if it's correct. And for me, the main difficult that I have is it. But I don't think it's a hard, it's so hard to learn in English. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Michelle?
Hi guys, sorry for my late. I was busy and difficult with my internet.
No problem.
What question are you in?
The first one.
The first, just a minute, because I don't have the question on the chat. Could you please share?
Okay. I will put again, but the question is, do you think English is a difficult language to learn?
No, for me, English, it's more easy than Portuguese, but I think the difficulty is when as adult, it's difficult to make mistakes in front of other people, especially in the work. This place of vulnerability, it's very difficult, and I feel very
Uncomfortable?
insecure. Yes, uncomfortable. And for me, I thought so many times that I should to know the English a long time ago. And in many meetings, I felt this, the fail. I'm failed because I don't know, because I should know the language, and this make the process more difficult than that who are. It's not the language is not difficult, but the many things, the variables, it's so difficult for me.
Yeah, guys, for me, it's the same. I think that in a rational way, I know that English is a easy language to learn. But when we start to learn, it's so difficult to connect for my reality and for our grammar. And it is, we start to trying to translate and put in the same way on in Portuguese grammar. And I think that's the mainly mistakes that we got. And because we don't practice and don't listen and connect for all the varieties, I don't know, for to our day. So because in the tips, we saw that change the device, the setting of device, and start to listen and in English, watch TV in English, this kind of thing that to bring the day by day for us and in English. I think that's better than start to study grammar that I hate so much. And for me, it's difficult because don't match. And as I am a rational person, for me, it's don't match. So it is. I think that we are in a good way, in a good direction. That is practicing a lot. I think that's the best way to learn. Andrea, have you ever spoken English on the phone?
I can't remember, guys. I think I have never spoken on phone, but I have already spoken face-to-face in 2018, and it was so hard. Because of this, I returned to study English, and I am here now, practicing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Michelle?
Yes, I was some experiences, but for me, on the phone, it's very difficult. When I talk in using the video on meetings or in a real or in front of the person, it's better. I talked with Chinese guys.
My gosh.
So difficult. I don't understand. In general, I talk. I say, "Hi, my name is Michelle. Can you talk with me by the email?" It's much better because the quality of the call is not always is the quality of the signal, the phone, and it's difficult. It's very difficult for me.
Yeah, it's true. I know. And for you, Ayla?
No, I haven't ever spoken English on phone. I don't know, I guess it might be very difficult the first time. I don't know, I think probably I would say, oh, sorry, could you repeat, please? Could you speak more slowly? Stuff like that. I think it would be very difficult.
Yeah.
I haven't ever spoken yet.
Okay. And you, Belle?
Yeah, I have one experience, but it's not so good. Yeah, it's like all the time I request, oh, can you repeat please, because I don't understood. And it's hard because when we are to learning, when we start to learning, the audios or the conversation, it's very slowly. Yeah, it's very easy to my brain to be adapted to the language. But in the real environment, it's hard because the people talk very fastly and use a very slangs. Yeah, it's so hard. And it's hard because you can't see the face the other person. Yeah, it's just the audio. So your listen need to be very, very very smart. I don't know how to say that, but was a good experience. But efficiency, the communication was not so efficient. But what was a good experience because I realized that I need to improve that. Yeah, improve my listen, and it's a real environment. Yeah, and was good, but it's what was hard to understood and was very what was a good experience.
Yeah, I had some experience in my job, and I hate all them because it's totally different when you see online or in person, and you read the mouth is different. And but when I work at Goodyear between 2009 and 2014, but in the last year, 2013, 14, I changed my obligations, my tasks, and I need to talk on phone. I think that every week with a group around the world. So there was guys from India, from United States, from Singapore, and from Luxembourg. And for me, every time were a nightmare because it's so difficult, different accents. It's totally different. When you think that you prepare to talk and you talk on phone, it's totally different. And you think, oh my gosh, I don't know anything. It's unbelievable. And when you understand and can talk, probably you are almost 100% to talk. It's totally different. And another time was in a job interview with a girl from London. Was terrible too. I ask sorry, and I don't understand, and I think that I'm not able to do that. Thank you so much, and bye, because it was terrible. Oh gosh, it's a nightmare. And Ayla, how often do you practice your English nowadays?
Nowadays, almost every day I practice my English because I try to join the immersion here on TNT.
Every day?
So, yeah, almost every day. Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm busy because of my work, so it's difficult. But I try almost every day to join at least one immersion. And you are so good because I do believe it's very important. If I want to improve my English, it's important to practice.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
single day. Yeah.
It's true. And the Bell?
Yeah. So at the beginner, I'm try every day have a contact with the language. Yeah, and the immersion or the conversation are the best way to practice. Yeah, because it's like obligation for me for have a contact with the language and put my mind to work. Yeah, So today it's sometimes I'm not a disciplined person because it's not every day, but in the TNT, I'm able to do that because there are different options. Yeah, there are different hours for me available. So I'm trying have one conversation per day. And when I don't, when I could join the meetings, I'm try listen a music or listen a podcast or watching videos on YouTube. But I'm try have a contact after all the days, and it's good because when you start have a contact all the day or put my phone in English, for example, it's not easy, but my mind change. Yeah, it's like a switch. So sometimes I realize that I was thinking in that sentence in English, or my main goal in my life is forget the word in Portuguese and just remember in English.
It's a dream. For me, it's a dream.
Yeah, but when we start have a contact all the days or one time per day, my mind changed a little, and it's good because I'm a little confident, or I'm very motivated to follow the learning. Yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah, yeah. Congratulations. And you, Andrea?
Guys, I have been saying that TNT changed my life because I always loved the language. I have studied English when I was 25 years old. I was almost finished the course, so I gave up. And in 2018, I had a trip to Italy. I know you already know about it, but this trip makes me return to study, and I returned in 2019. But I had many difficulties to speak because I am a shy person, and for me, commit a mistake, it's a nightmare, as you said, Vanessa. And I can't speak with other people, even in a class. I was not comfortable to speak. And when I found TNT, it took a long time to have the courage to attending on the meetings. But in 2021, I started. And why it's changed? Because now I am more confident to speak. I know I am committing a lot of mistakes. I am not a perfect person to speak, but I am more confident. And for me, it's amazing because I forget that we are live on YouTube. For me, it doesn't matter more. I am just speaking and speaking.
And to be a confident person, change everything.
Yes, yes.
No,
Yes.
it's totally different. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was the same as you talk. For me, it's commit a mistake in front of my husband. That's a English teacher. Was terrible, and can you imagine with the strength people? It's impossible for me. I hated. I try to escape it all the time for this occasion, because for me a nightmare, all the worst nightmare in my life. So now I don't care. If you are understand me, for me I'm happy. It's totally different, and this feeling give me a sensation that I can improve my English for a long time. It's totally different, but unfortunately for me, I tend to practice every day. So I try to put all day all day the podcast about my work. So I looking for podcasts about procurement or managing or leadership, this kind of thing. And I am on the way from my job, because it's almost more than an hour. I try to listen that and understand. So sometimes I didn't, and I put again this kind of thing. So for me, my exercise is more this than to practice on immersion, unfortunately. And for you, Michelle?
I'm eating English with breakfast, lunch, because I can't avoid learning English anymore. I'm 30 years old. I'm looking for a new job. I work with international business, logistics. It's supply chain. It's not possible. Don't talk in English. And I know that I know English, but I didn't have confidence for to talk. Many years, many times, I was in a meeting, and after I'm crying because the result was terrible. But nowadays, as you said, Vanessa, I don't care. I talk with all the people. I think it's 2 years ago, I installed the Tinder and match with guys in other countries just to practice English. And
Oh my
hi,
God.
okay. Yeah, it works. It works a lot. And I'm
Really?
sorry, my English is not so good. And don't worry. Yes, because I realized that Brazilian guys judge so much your level than the natives.
Yeah.
And I feel so uncomfortable with other Brazilian guys in meetings on the work. I felt that they were sometimes cruel, and I talk slowly,
Mhm.
and the guy slowly so fast, just to prove that I didn't know, but I don't give up. I didn't give up, and I will learn English. It's my
Yeah.
first goal in this year.
Yeah, okay. And the foreigner guys, uh, more than one time told me, "Oh, no problem. You are trying to talk in my language, and I can't to do to talk your language. So for me, it's okay, no problem. Don't worry. It's totally different when you talk with Brazilian guys." Unfortunately, but it's I don't know it's why happened that. I think that's a way to show that's better than us, but it's okay.
Yes,
I don't care more.
and sorry.
Okay, no, sorry.
No, I think the English, it's a difference between two people like this in the work. So if every person knows English, so I'm not a different person anymore. I think
Yeah,
sometimes people think about that.
yeah, it is. And Michelle, what's your favorite way to practice your English? It's here?
Yes, I like to hear, but I love to sing.
Oh,
I'm a singer all the time because it's fun, and I can sing the songs that I love it. So it's more nature, but
okay.
I love talking too.
But you try to understand that you are singing. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And for you, Ayla?
For me, as I said, Shirley is by TNT. Talk to you as I'm enjoying now. And besides, I like to listen to podcasts because I think I can improve my listen, and when I improve my listen, I improve my speak the same way.
Mhm.
I try to pay attention about the pronunciation, and I think it's a good way to improve your speak. Because when you are learning another language, I think when you wait to listen some word and it's wrong, I think it's no good for your understanding. And when you can speak correctly some word, you probably learn listen better. So I think it's helpful. It's very helpful. And I like doing Duolingo.
Duolingo?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I do Duolingo because for me it's very useful to learn new vocabulary every day. I try to learn one word new, so I think it's very good.
Hey, interesting. And you, Andrea?
Guys, I like to listening podcasts in English, music. I love. I like studied grammar. I don't know why, but I love grammar, guys. I love grammar. I've been studying in a school yet, twice a week, and now we are on the last book, and the book it's always about vocabulary, and I hate because it's don't I cannot put in my mind the vocabulary. For me, it's more difficult than study grammar, but we need to know about the vocabulary. And here on TNT, I participate as much as I can, and that's it. Studying and listening. That's it.
Yeah, it is. And you, Belle?
Yeah, for me, I think that my favorite way is to have a conversation, because it's when I realize that all the skills are okay. Yeah, because when you have a conversation, you need to listen, we need to talk, we need to use the grammar. So it's my favorite way. And when I understood the other person, it's very good because I can understood the other person, like your opinion or your life, your experience. So for me, it's the best way because it's for me, it's the purpose. Yeah. I'm studying English to be able have a communication with other person and learn with other person, with other culture. And I think it's that it's because it's because I realize that I'm able to learn something or to be consistent about something. It's good when I realize it when, for example, I listen a podcast because I don't have any friends and talk in English, for example. So I will try use the internet or technology to listen. So I'm okay, I can understood that and I'm very fascinated about that. Yeah. And but I really like about this Michelle's strategy. I didn't try something like that, but it's good because I have one experience when I need to talk with other person, the other country, and was so good because I'm able to have a communication with the other person. So I was very happy about that, and that motivated a lot.
Yeah. And for you, what is the most difficult thing about English?
Yeah, for me, it's hard when I need to use all the skills. Yeah. So because sometimes, for example, Andrea, it's different because she like study grammar. Yeah. So for me, maybe the grammar because it's just about the structure. Yeah, it's just about rules. And for example, I don't know all the rules in Portuguese, for example, but I'm able to talk in Portuguese and have a good communication. Yeah. So maybe for me, it's the grammar, but it's so hard to understand some expression or the accents. It's very hard too. But when you have a good environment, and that environment it's should to do comfortable, yeah, like TNT, because I'm comfortable and sometimes I'm feel a little confident to make mistakes. And I think is that I think the grammar, just study grammar, it's hard. But when you use grammar and listen and have a practice, it's good.
Okay. And Michelle?
Sorry, I don't can use it. My tablet. It's a new thing for me. My I think my most difficult is the confidence. It's I think it's the vulnerability to understand that I will wrong and that's okay. Uh, for me, I'm confused a lot to organize the phrase and the and the past and the tenses. So I'm confused. Sometimes I use you, but I need to use I or her. It's simple things, but in the hour to organize the phrases, I'm confused about that. This.
Okay. Andrea?
Guys, although I love studying grammar, for me it's difficult to put the grammar in the, how can I say, use the grammar properly. Because as I said, I committed a lot of mistakes, but it's hard. But for me, the most difficult is speaking, because as I said before, I am a shy person, and for me, committing a mistake, it was a nightmare. So just things for me, it's very hard. Nowadays, I am better, so that's it.
Okay. And you, Ayla?
So for me, as I said in the beginning, I think most difficulty is overcome your fear or you're ashamed to speak. It's very hard, very, very hard, but it's very important. I remember when I started, it was so difficult because as like Andrea, I'm a shy person. But when I was able to fight my fear, I noticed how I improved, how I feel more confident to speak. And so I think that's a main reason, because people give up. People feel very embarrassed when they make mistake, but uh, it's normal. It's very normal. There is no way to learn another language if you don't make mistakes. So it's important you. It doesn't matter it's you make mistake. I think nowadays I feel happy when I make a mistake, because I can learn from my mistakes. So when I do this, I can learn more. So yeah,
And for you, why are you learning English?
I decided to learn a language after the pandemic because I had free time. So because I always wanted to learn another language, and I want to communicate another language, because I think it's so good to understand what a foreign speak, and to understand the movies or music. So I think it's so good for my self-esteem, and because I consider myself a curious person, so I like to learn new things, and I think it's so good for our brain, the same way to learn another language, and because so I can to have other opportunity when I need to, I don't know, change a job. So I think it's very important to improve your knowledge, your background. So, and to learn, especially to learn English, because I think it is the most language spoken in the world, and it's very good, it's very important.
Yeah, it's true. And for you, Andrea?
Guys, for me, I always love English since I was a child. I remember that I used to translate the songs with a dictionary. So I grew up with this wish to speak in English. But as I said before, in 2018, I had a trip, and it changed my mind, because it was my first trip abroad, and I wanted to travel more. So I decided, if I want to travel more, I will need to improve my English. So I returned to study, and my focus is on it. Travel, find a better job that I am able to speak in English every day. For me, it will be a good experience. And yes, to Matt Bono from YouTube, because it's my dream. And I need to be prepared to speak with him. So that's it.
Did you see in the last immersion, or the two last immersion, that I think that Natalia
Yes, I was there.
met Lorena McKennitt.
Yes.
I was in shock, and I told for my husband, my son, oh my gosh, the girl met Lorena. I love Lorena too, and could you imagine that you meet your idol, and don't to be able to speak with oh my gosh.
Maybe if it's happening with me, maybe I will not be able to speak because I will be so nervous. Even if I am fluent, I will be so nervous that I could open my mind. But it's a great, I don't know, it's a great, for me, it's the best thing.
Yeah. And for you, Belle, why are you learning?
Yeah. So I started to study English because my job requests me that. Yeah. So I started to study because was matriculated in the university, American University, about my job. And that's when I start to study, I realized that, yeah, I will, the English, to learn English will to be my challenge in my life. Yeah, because like Ayla before, that involved my self-esteem. And I'm able to talk in English, I can do everything that I want. Yeah, because at the beginning, the English was a challenge. It's hard to be motivated to learn because yeah, maybe I'm not good to talk another language. And today I want to learn English, I want to be fluent, and maybe in the future I want to learn other language too.
What? What? Belle?
What? Maybe the French. The next. Sorry, it's my
Okay.
connection. But I want to
No.
learn French in the future.
Yeah, it's a beautiful language, but for me, I think that's difficult too. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you, Michelle?
For me, I needed to improve my English for my career, of course, but it's a personal challenge for me because in the past, speaking English for me was impossible. It is a dream. I'm a represent other people that don't have this opportunity. I'm the only person in my family that understanding English. So I want I want to talk, guys. It's possible. It's not so difficult. It's not so complicated. If you want it, go ahead. So for me, it's a personal challenge. It's a great opportunity to expand my word, turn my word big than that's only the space that I have now.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's totally possible. And you, Marcio, why are you learning English?
So, in my case, my main focus nowadays, I needed to get a new job. I learn English because I participate in some process in the company. The processes I can get a new job in another country. I study, I participate in the meeting a lot because I did two interviews in English. I need to improve more. My main focus to this moment in my life, I get a new job.
Okay. And for you, Maria?
My main focus is professional too. I am trying to improve my English because I want to invest in my international career. So I want to improve my skills in English. But I have personal goals too because I like to learn English. I like to travel. So I like to study other languages. So that's it.
Okay. Heide, and for you? Why?
It's the same. It's the same.
Professional?
Yes, I work at a large company that have a contact with a lot of countries. I am not have a lot of contact, but in the future, in progress of career, I intend that I will need to talk a lot in English, and I am prepared before then started to have a contact with other person in other sites.
Okay, and for you, Gabriel?
For me, I want to, like I said, I want to learn a lot of languages. I want to be a polyglot one day. For me, it's so interesting to learn a lot of languages, connect with people with different cultures. So I want to learn a lot different languages. And my focus right now is English because it's like the main language to connect with people in the whole world, I think, and especially for professional reasons. The companies is more and more asking for the language skills, so I want to be at best level in English soon.
Okay. Guys, our time is over, but I think that this is a subject that everyone here is connected. So I think that we can discuss more in the future about the English, the way to study, to improve, and we can what we can do to improve our English, our language skills. And I would like to thankful for your time and ask to answer the survey, please, and invite you to the next Sunday for another immersion. I think that the next subject, it's about sports, exercise, this kind of thing. It's totally different, but I would like to see again. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great Sunday, and I use so son. Thank you so much.
Bye, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Thank you.